Do. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having a terrific new year, at least so far. So lately I've been thinking a lot about the James Webb Telescope. Now, for those of you who may not know what that is, or maybe you missed the launch, the James Webb Telescope is basically the successor to the Hubble telescope. And I'm sure that at some point you've seen at least some of the images from Hubble because they're just freaking amazing. And so now the James Webb Telescope that just launched like a week or two ago is basically the new iteration of Hubble. But this thing blows my mind. Like, it's actually just so incredible watching like explanations of just all the technology and research and manpower and 10 billion tax dollars. Like, there's my furnace again. Now, I myself am in no way qualified to actually talk about the ins and outs of this technical marvel, but when you look at the breakdowns of the cryo cooler that has to actively cool down one of the instruments, I forget which one it is, that instrument only operates at like below 7 Kelvin, which, mind you, is colder than even the coldest spot on Earth. It just blows my mind. How do you even make something that can even operate in that kind of temperature if you can't even get that kind of condition on Earth? Like, do you see what I'm saying? And then you have the sun shield and just all the thought and engineering that went into that. And then you have the gold-plated mirrors that, you know, actually take out like the higher spectrum of light, which is what gives gold its shine, and just so many mind-blowing things. And that's just like the engineering of the telescope itself. That's not even getting into like its mission objectives and what it's actually capable of retrieving data-wise.
Once this telescope becomes operational,
it's going to show us some stuff. It's a very exciting time. And I feel like that's something that everyone can get behind because everybody would like to know more about the universe. Everyone would like to know more about just out there. But if I understand it correctly, there were a lot of discoveries that Hubble made that like it was never intended to make, because every time you go out into space with a new instrument, you are almost guaranteed to find or reveal or discover or any other synonym something new that you did not see before, because that's just kind of how space works with our current interpretation of what is out there. There is so much to learn, there is so much to discover, that every time you get a new technology or a new method of testing, you get a new discovery. And I think that right there, hands down, that is the most fascinating part of the James Webb Telescope. Thinking about what it's intended to find, what it was designed to find, and then just what it might just kind of stumble upon. $10 billion? While that is a huge amount of money, we could have so many nicer things if there wasn't so much struggle going on at any given time. We could just have so many nicer things in this world if we were not always like shooting ourselves in the foot. Again, going back to the fact that this telescope that is going to reveal so much to us, assuming that everything unfolds correctly and none of those 300 potential points of failure, you know, happen, then we will get a hell of a return on our investment. And again, going back to that $10 billion price tag, yes, again, it is a lot of money. I'm not trying to trivialize that. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, when you have trillions of dollars being spent, often on wasteful and inefficient and just not the best ways, if you were to reallocate a lot of that funding, you could fund a James Webb Telescope-esque event like, 10 times a year. Because when you have the money, and you have the technology, and you have the manpower, going into something that actually benefits humanity. That is what we need more of. Because while that telescope might be worth $10 billion, you cannot put a price on knowledge, and you cannot put a price on discovery. Okay, bye.